Tlabagalong ilitasil silmer kamiro kuya daw sa teme damla amoita elol malbung ra erutlok el al talyal sil sangan ngisel talkshow gid laban triar adra PNSB makmoy da Michael Mystery ito mabagidel trigibel time.
Okay. Sulang minori malung ilitasil sila korka maro loader tel station gid rangarel belaw. Kung kutum salblo di ko nga kama magimay el angkok maasamer mo mabto kapisa kalme yatakal atimiuling ako titriar special guest tirar ngal gel belaw ngal skuday kel belaw angkok nasib il receiver sel award the makadorng imse Palau Fellowship Award the matangart ngal complete gel internship hours tirar al summer aw era pa kumul pwede kong teer kama mangartiang, mar other officer scholarship, mar board members, di po kutar sa susur kama malmura leaders. Mako teak malom teer kama may other sa susur kama malmura at ang president surang Alwips Jr. Madire kal kutar sa susur kama malmura at ang vice president Reynold B. Oilo, mar members sa cabinet. Dire kal malom teer kama may other sa susur kama malmura. Senate President Hokons Paules, marokul senators, dire kalmalodar sa susukam malmora Speaker a House, Delegate Gibson Kanay, marokul delegates. Dire kalodar sa susukama malmora Ibudul, Maraklay, rubukul belaw, dire kalmatmol at susukam malmora Abilung, Maepiraklay, Marmasil belaw. Selma mungulupong alukutar sa susura mamulmurar pekal governor Sriga 16 states rabul belaw tamal masalar leader Srigi dara kukureri likiretal klubokal balwadra belaw. So once again namalung ilitasils ngakankle kamorisang uduy akuder sel office Srigi dara Palau National Scholarship Office aknarter elalsils with my colleague Mr. Marilang Maigol, administrative specialist ramam. Ang kadiri kal ngartyang algok mo provide the update algok kilala scholarship Michael deadline blab ela shorgi dapay mo kotak mo idea olgo yung lal mo ramri lang Mumbai mo provide the updates algot and then nang mutal meranga gi ko kadam ura tiga special guest rigi analysis mendak introducer tin ng by the mo introducer tin sa the personal interview portion so by ko idea olgo yung lal mo ramri
sulang emori sa more count dito special guest lagi para pagyan station sulang at lang amal di mo kasi pa tibusa nakmal di mo ay sa ilal mela samme mali sumaman mo congratulate the 3-year-old graduating class of 2025 congrats si ilal samme ng akmal temela totoo teal na scholarship and mura kali sa makmal di mo ay sa iyo kinalaring teal por mo taloy siya uli ko yung alekor kami Malaway ise ang ngaring ise global leadership training ang mura maluna siyabal si isa maluin mo tirigel laudio la government or tirigel policy makers tangay nga kura connection at til mo diplomats or negotiators other experts with knowledge and skill set to become mga tirigel global governance agendas yang deadline na ringi online application deadline na ringi na June 27 and then kagidal po kumas al patok ay the regular PNSB programs sponsored by our national government and other state and local agencies so Palau grant applying itigal undergrad students deadline na July 31st Mausubes ay gagidal po kumas sa alrokuy at deadline na July 31st. So if kaplanan mo apply, sige July 31st deadline. So ngaring isel Palau grant for undergrad students, ngaring isel Palau student loan for undergrad and postgraduate students. Sel Palau scholarship, that's a full scholarship, mortigal juniors and seniors sa nga college. Ay gagidal programs under officer kita scholarship al fund the national government and then ay kaki dalbo kumas ang ay local state scholarships malskum ka adray gal balu recent high school graduate so man may apply eng either ang kau malupang atravli ma registered voter ay kagit dalbalul po kumas nga ay state scholarship al more trigel nga lagray ay get 3 hours ringi dili kal nga ay scholarship nga dili kal self father Felix ya scholarship el 5 hours ringi more trigel ko na major wa psychology sociology kagit type of majors dili kal nga kaya ng state scholarship masel marayla isel masami 6A memorial scholarship sikmal klolte al scholarship aling 5,000 ending more tinikel mo raskura outside of Guam FSM Palau and CNMI dili kal nga state scholarship mo nga ma annual state ma late speaker tadawang hotel scholarship kuk more trigel nga along and then ang ramlungoy state scholarship amura nga ramlungoy etla na July 30 yay kel rest tal gulmas etla na July 31st mang dimlay kay kidyate al scholarship al malvatok ya somil mo mala application form kumakail omsotel ang mal sa iwe lo pura sa alimil may officer kama nga PHS campus Ramatalai or in sa ilyo mo kadong officer kita 488-3608 tamaluupe ka email almira scholarship680@gmail.com or in dili kal sa email mo website kita www.pnsb.org kung maral masaw letyadi ulaklat kalmortikel soril may apply matigil already tingilanges ulo aseganges ulo maskita amtarikit maulma ki malik ngarsel mission statement trama malwasi komong ng maskuli we merefelaw and help develop our island nation payva kaluk mo sa ilmo tumalmol may galte alal mortigil talarol lal maralme mas kumakamada kalakal wasi hindi kalsomal may kerefelaw please hindi kikmal mga lalwasi maaplanges evong emlutal may Maldim lay kay kiri ako mal masulang klutal ngutial olgayong almora mori matirkal special guest.
Sulang bari ngay given bari lang ang gel so mga nga karmura application ng idil gel la scholarship ang mal sabi ildi morngi di sumanda kal available kama mal dire kal loader scholarship office mas amadire kal ngoso kami. So ilang nuswa kal di mo share debrief or information na girat tal Palau Fellowship Award. So tiragi the special guest tiragi the LLCs tira recipient tiragi the Palau Fellowship Award. Tiya nga mokte karngi awal dolas mal mga suser tiragi the ngalgel belal nga raikel belao matumamra kal nga school le mutal mer belao like mariset kados pe ertidal mutal mer belao e oral nga sera palwat. So recipient tirtel award for the mohara or tira haraura airfare tir waya tira gid two special guests tira nga continuing students hindi ka graduate so for the haraura round trip ticket tirel merbelaw ito real 8 weeks a requirement tra program 8 weeks no more no less and since 8 weeks for the direct hour tira 400 bi-weekly stipend throughout the period. So every 2 weeks sil submit a timesheet 13 merkama may yuk processor sige the stipend 30 hour 30 elatya available almora rangal belaw nga school record belaw tira current juniors going on their senior year up to current seniors mal up to di kamne graduate aso ma recipient di kamne graduate already di harara ticket teringil one will mer belaw sida wal moktira program sige daw ka di kasi akadebal omsoder tagi del PFA paibok kuy amay kan mortira special guest tergit mabol introducer tir korenden nep kugerager tir maybe they can tell us their names tangara skurger ngara tamsup ngal ngara state traveler belaw.
Adi, nga kang ka kasoyo hope karingan HE nga kangal kara online Aktilab tra Palau High School, Mara School na University of Guam. Ak musu ba apin siya nga ka philosophy ak minor anthropology.
Malungili tasil silmergi drogoy nga kang Clara Pars, Tara Williams, ak ngaligala Olu Williams, Magate Sally, ngal kara Mador, Rabaluray Malik, Mlukro ra Pulatyu, Ranger BF, ne omura ngarbeet Head Start, Telmamre, mora Seventh-day Adventist, SDA Elementary School, promote mora Palau High School. Ito, mora Palau Community College 1 year transfer more ngaring year elang, which is the University of Hawaii at Manoa, where I'm a senior double majoring in English and Pacific Island Studies.
Wow. Okay, thank you ladies. May ilang kami mo intern kamrura, complete internship pra kami rike. Can you also tell us why kung na-choose mo rin dal pasyor kami?
So, naka-intern ra Bureau of Cultural and Historical Preservation. Obviously, ako mama nga ra one stop, edi ka nga ra ngulmud. Wala ko na siya certificate the internship ra nga. Like, mukatul sa kan musu, basyo kang arbelaw. Hindi na ko sa kalasigal, wala the preserve. Ay kalsyo kang rigid. Nga ka, I'm interested in ethics, so finding ways to ethically and go about archaeology in that sector and how we can legally find ways to be able to create better policies that help protect our culture. And yeah, ako rin labing galas sa ni ngirmang makikiplas wala daw, and I'm learning a lot, so I think that's what made me want to work with them again.
Chief Sunny, Madirector Kibas.
Chief Sunny, Director Giplas Kome.
Nga ka Oriora Ministry of Education, MOE. And I chose to go there because one, English was one of the priority fields that they were looking for. But also nga ka dimlay ke kadal nga lige madingik mo sing swakal mo sensei one day. Swakat to school. So I thought being with MOE would be the best option for me. And my supervisor right now, the education English specialist, niya Evangeline Andrew.
That's great. Malkloa ngal sila sensei. I just saw vacancy announcement on online for teachers. So malkura kada malungin lang udal mastery raway kami sa Marian mo sensei, and of course historical kada dili kal maluspir young people. I know the youngest is Michael there, or is it? Yeah. So, ilang for you, this is your second time internship program. By the way, Sabil applied the internship up to 2 times. So, Kezoya, this is her second time. Salute ma school at graduating na mo, kasi mo to apply the internship. It's just 2 times. So, this is her second time. Maybe in Emelo Isaac masing what you've been doing so far, if ngayon ka difference ilal experience ka ilal year ma ko last year.
Right now we're Debrang Camacho. She's my coworker. We're currently working on our nomination forms for our sites. So we each were assigned a site. For me, I'm working on Pulra Arkamais, which is Tegidal Bulil Ngara Abdululaang. It was a historical site, and I'm still working on getting it registered. Tagitan na last year. So akpay na mo role information, and now I'm just trying to put it together, and hopefully it goes through and I can be able to register it. But we're also learning about ways to get permits for sites, whether it be buildings or structures, and we're also learning about how I think one thing that I'm learning is that there is a lot of work that needs to be done when it comes to policy and protocol. I think we've done a good job so far, but we can definitely do better. Awulak na masada igal ethics may la lang I got la ngara BCHP regarding I got the historical side can definitely be more how do you say this? It could definitely be more in depth and it can help because I think that if we want to preserve culture, I think we need to create better ways, better policies to do so. But that also takes a lot of community collaboration. So, like, let's work together to be able to create better ways to preserve our culture, and I think with community collaboration we're going to be able to do so, getting community input, finding ways to how to culturally preserve how we've done so far. A good example, Labul, how we've been conserving Ayay Elizabeth. So that's what I've been doing so far with Mangal Chief Sani, Mangal Director Giblas, and we're also learning Ayay PNC Title 19 for the BCHP. So yeah, that's I think the difference last year. I think personally, akna mamadu balance our my personal life. Last year, I realized that this is a job. Like, it's not like work study or it's a commit till 8 to 5. Like brings good to Palau, and so doing this brings a lot of like integrity. And so when I'm doing work, I also have to remember I have personal life. So now I balance it with going out with friends, whether it be playing pool or just hanging out and swimming. So that's an important tip, is it can get caught up in work really easily and we get burnt out and think then mabutul balance ay lang arigit ma redes so that's what I think is different. Yeah.
Thank you. The activities that you've been doing at MOE.
Okay. So I got na mamarekal tool 3 weeks. Nga kamanggel tara intern niya ikalaw miss. We got the chance to participate in training workshops loban our sensei from all across Palau, starting from the north, like our sensei ra skurang ar along and malmutara our sensei ra skura sonsorol mapuloana. So getting the chance to sit with them and discuss the different curriculums in depth. So we've been learning a lot. We got to meet with consultants for English and math fields specifically, and we got to review recent data from the schools that show us the progress of the students at the central schools, and learning about curriculum in the core subjects, and also introduced to technology that they're using now in the classroom, such as AR and iReady. We all know the intercession, so the kids aren't in school yet. Hindi sa latua school, yaki mo sa mamilmot mura classroom or your loban tirirangal, which I think the most excited for.
That's great.
Yeah.
Malungil. So, kami yung lamot tilalwik sa mo or to.
This is my 3rd week.
Okay, I think you guys both started at the same time. Yeah. Okay, so ang kabi katalibal, you're not yet halfway there. But sa mo ko ra, das regal na mabrakal 2 weeks. Do you think ang kurang nga highlight or tell experience, any activities that you've done that's memorable, enjoyable?
So for us, mga BCHP, we do a lot of site visits and site monitoring. Magina field trip, pilmorang rad, mga along, yimong mesay kay gidel site, subaseng trakal rural real estate, tirak like kay gidel la kim like we've given to them. Dira kalangaya projects to sort of maroon so agimong monitor or just consult just to make sure that everything is within the scope of their work. And then we've done a lot of honestly, we've done a lot of research, which may sound boring, but it's actually very, very interesting. Or these documents like from Kramer's or Snyder, they're very interesting. So it's for me, it's like kind of like reading a book. But it's like the book is about ourselves, and we just we learn more about who we are and where we're from and the kind of challenges we've gone through. So it's really interesting. I will say upcoming excited activity akmran like nilanong sa kumla suringi it's coming up nga kama chief saning mang mangkal debrang Camacho gimora balilyo la following week we're gonna do site monitoring there for about a week. I can't say what the project is, but it's really exciting and I wish I could say it. It's confidential. But it's a really exciting project and nila experience especially I'd say it's a great experience for Theo. Shout out to Theo. She graduated the semester. But we're excited to go and learn more about the site monitoring, how we make sure that they comply to BCHP rules and policies like cultural sites. I'm excited to also check Palilyo. I haven't been there in so long. So I'm so excited. I know I'm so excited. And yeah, I think those are my very, very exciting like activities that are coming up, and I get so yeah.
How about you, Bars?
I think the highlight so far is getting to see like the behind the scenes of what happens to or what the teachers do to provide for their students in the best way possible. I think it's really heartwarming to see how much the teachers care. And another fun part is Mr. Tirikal lesson sa nga karak nga high school and they come into the room and they're like, Adil, kam nakarartiang. I'm like, I'm interning. And just seeing like they're really happy to see us in the education field. So they're very encouraging and very supportive. Since day one, they've been encouraging us. So I think that's really the highlight so far. Oo.
El asel sa mga school mostly do reading, in class. Ilang ko kate will like get first-hand experience. Do you think kaigal knowledge of subra in the classroom mas emal apply mo regal ready or ilang internship sites?
So I get black kusubra like sa ngara school. I definitely think that it applies to I got Rior that I'm doing now. When I think about some of the stuff that I apply to when I work, I think reflexivity is a big one, which is learning how to not put my own bias in works. I think when it comes to oral history or ethnography, the interview, and we put our own experiences and bias in front, and it just doesn't. It's not an ethical way to conduct interviews. So when I think about that, and Chief Sunny Yermang, who continues to teach me interview, and then it applies to the things that I learn when I'm in anthropology. It was when it comes to cultural biases or opinionated biases, sometimes it's hard to push them aside because we don't think the same as the way we've done years and years ago. But it's also interesting to take in get the perspective see how it has evolved over time. Those and move forward in a more productive or progressive way. I also think when it comes to philosophy, apply most of the things that I have learned in philosophy, right? Especially like critical thinking, engagement, communication is a big one. It you know it can be sometimes it can be difficult to do the research because you find yourself at a dead end a lot of the times, but with a lot of extra patience and a lot of encouragement, and these are the things that my professors prepared me for. Dr. Bill, for example, would tell me, when you do research, it's not always easygoing. You have to do a lot of the nitty gritty in order to get the information that you want and the results that you want yielded from the research. So to put in that extra work is, those kind of things I learned, those realistic like life advice I need because I do apply them when I work. So I think those are the main ones that I use now, just critical thinking, reflexivity, and just learning how to remember to be very open-minded, because the last thing I want to be is, closed-minded. It would be harder for me to do the research.
For me, I think honestly, I'd say indirectly from both English and Pacific Island Studies, because I think what we do the most is just read and write and critically think in both fields. So there's not so much I think I directly took from the classroom to my internship, but I would say from one of my part-time jobs when I worked at an office called Tides that was with the UH campus, and we were going to the high schools that have the biggest populations of Pacific Islander and Filipino students, so that we could go and help these kids graduate high school and get them to college. So I think the skills that I learned there, like mo maduulo ka school, and learn how to even just like how to talk to them, how to treat them in the best way for them, understanding that you're going to also learn from them, not just teach them. And just, interacting with students and creating stuff like workshops and different presentations. I think that part-time job was the most helpful for me, and bringing that experience to MOE.
All right. So that was on the internship experience. Ilang the move on and more ako college life, and so ilang maybe MLO ay sira mamekmase kangara school care and why you chose to attend that school. Maybe we can add on the other question also why you chose your major. So what school are you attending? Why did you choose to go to that school? And why are you studying your current major?
So nga ka Soya, mora skura University of Guam. My major is philosophy and I minor in anthropology. Awalak na choose mora University of Guam. Ako mkorora, akna mkorora Guam. So that's like my second home to me. So going there kind of felt like it was right. Like it felt like I belonged there. And I was definitely right. When I went there, I fit right in. I think the environment is like the school environment is very welcoming. I think that the people there are very nice. They're very refreshing to be around. And they also, I don't mean this in a bad way, but they also kind of think like me since we're all kind of from the islands. I have a lot of people. We have a good Palawan community there. And I also have made a lot of really good friends when I was in elementary school there. And then when I went back for college, it's like we never left. Like we're still close and we still keep in touch. Awalak na siya certificate that made sure philosophy. Honestly, like full transparency, dim na ka liberal arts or say. So I had to kind of choose something but was still broad enough to choose whatever work sector I wanted to when I had graduated. Philosophy made the most sense to me because I was already interested in like reading. I was already interested in some philosophers like Plato and Maria Lugones. I was already interested in reading them. So when I had taken my first philosophy class, I kind of was sure it was major philosophy. And it was really hard, but I did it. I'm almost done. But the anthropology came later. I started getting into a course called Indigenous Philosophy. Cultural philosophy of del Pacific and tribals and different tribes in America and across the world. And it pulled me a little closer into learning about culture, my own culture, and where I came from, how I can preserve that. Because the indigenous philosophies, it's a lot of them is slipping away. A lot of them are having they're better preserving it than what I kind of see here. And so I wanted to bring those things that I learned in indigenous philosophy in Marbella. And then at that point I was like, why not just minor in anthropology? So I took a class first to see if and then I really ended up liking anthropology. And so that's how that kind of happened. And ever since then, I have finished my minor requirements for anthropology. Along the the philosophy requirements, which is just hindi madala 2 class. So, Viva, guys!
Okay, so again, nga kapars, nga raskura, University of Hawaii at Manoa, and double majoring English and Pacific Island Studies. So actually, before I started at UH, yakne apply and got accepted into UH as an anthropology major, but then realized, I think like 2 weeks before the semester, before I left Palau, that I wasn't sure I wanted to be anthropology. But decided on English because, like I said, akne soal mo sensei, di tirakne omlaswa mo adarala. So I felt that if I do English, that's a really good base and foundation that'll give me the skills to do really anything. Like it's very versatile. I feel I could go into any career field. And then for Pacific Island Studies, I took one class my first semester because my older sister recommended it to me to take a Pacific Island Studies class. And I'll be honest, when I first went to UH, ako ra mlamasarang ukulik, manewto karangal kara mirigel, elngara skursay. So I kind of felt kind of lonely, I think, also in the classrooms because there weren't too many people that looked like me. So when I took this PAX course, I went in mlaringyangal kara Ruh, ngal kara Polape, ngal kara Pululaap, and our professor was from the Solomon Islands. So as soon as I walked in, I felt already like just so much more welcomed and like felt like I belonged in that classroom. And after I submitted my final exam, Professor he actually left a comment saying, I can tell you're really passionate and really interested, so I think you should consider pursuing it as a double major because UH doesn't offer it as a minor yet. So I thought about it for a little bit and then decided to add it on as a double major. But I'm really happy that I chose to, I'd say.
That's great.
Yeah.
Malungin. I usually include these questions around this time when I'm not graduate high school, the summer college. So I hope they get to listen to this and your stories and advice that will help make a decision on which college to go to and what the majors to major in. So looking back, college negative challenging experience. Maybe we can do the challenging most positive. So you can start with the most challenging experience and then most positive.
I have so many challenging experiences, but I think some of the biggest ones were being burnt out because I couldn't balance, or I didn't know how to balance school, friends, and work, and house. I think, and shurang on top of that. I think it's really hard to balance all those things at once. We young people who have that pressure of like school and then uphold like I get shurang. I know that it can be very not a burden, but it can be very heavy on our backs to be able to keep up with all those expectations. So it was something that I had to come to terms with, that, I also want to do this. This is something I want to do, but I also need to learn how to balance that. How do I go about it if I have different views? How do I go about it if I think there's a more progressive way? I think those were the things that crushed me a lot of the times, because I didn't know how to go about it I didn't know how to go about it when it's a sensitive topic. And I think one of the things that helped me was, there are school counselors who, and at least for our school, we have what I would loosely call a therapist who's on campus, who helps students, and they are really good at listening to our problems and giving us advice. And, if you need an ear, they'll give you an ear. If you need advice, they'll give you advice. So that was one of the things that I found challenging, is just balance and acceptance that, sometimes I'm gonna have these feelings or these thoughts, like, the burden is so big, or the responsibility there, not burden, the responsibility is so big. How do I live up to it? But the best I can do is take it one day at a time. And, my schoolwork, whatever it may be, and that's the best I can do. And at least that I will be satisfied with the results, and then everything else will fall in place. I think the second challenge was having imposter syndrome. If you don't know what that is, it's like you don't know your place in college when you're in a sea of different, very, very bright, open-minded and intellectual, people. How do you navigate through that when you feel like you're so just one out of all of them? Like, there's 1,000 people in that school, you're just one out of 1,000. How do you make your mark? How do you be able to build a mindset that isn't easily crushed by other people's success? And it's really hard. I mean, a lot of the times I felt really discouraged, only because I saw other students who started at the same time as me, who were either in the same major, or we were acquaintances, and we both worked hard, but one person got this and the other person got that. How do you put yourself in an area where you can appreciate your accomplishments and understand that not everything, when one door is closing on you, the cliche, another door is gonna open, that kind of mindset. It takes a long time to come to that mindset. I think what grounded me is just making I think the idea that I'm proud of my friends, and if I see someone win, I think that's a win for us in Micronesia, us in Oceania. I think a lot of our accomplishments can sometimes feel like it's overshadowed because we're so small of an island, or we feel like what we're doing could be really small, but in reality, it's doing a lot for. It's bringing us higher, and Oceania doesn't get a lot of chances to be known and to be shown to the world. So I think Pacifica excellence is really beautiful when either your small accomplishments or big ones, they add to all the ones that now we can say that, oh, we did this, or our people did this. And so I try to keep reminding myself that okay, when I get a degree, that's an accomplishment in itself. I completed college, that's an accomplishment in itself. I did this class and I got a good grade, that's an accomplishment. And when I do tend to fail, and I failed a lot, guys, I'm not gonna lie. When I do find myself failure, I just continue to remind myself, this is just one bad experience. It's just a bump in the road. Yeah, the road is really long, but this is just one bump. You just gotta get over it. And so yeah, I think those are my two biggest challenges, I think.
You want to follow that up with a positive?
Yeah, guys, sorry guys, I just was gonna end in the negative. Okay, I think my positive experiences in college are definitely the people that I met. They are the ones who actually helped me a lot, getting through all those tough times. For example, Deo has helped me a lot in college. I mean, we were roommates. We went there together, roommates together, and so I think it's so beautiful to see how our friendship has come until now. And I'm grateful for Wabars and Igala. They're far away, but we keep in touch, and they, we always encourage each other to do our best. And I get like milestones that we go through, we still like, oh my gosh, congratulations. And it is, because, you know, we only have this life once. We might as well celebrate every little, you know, milestone we get. And I think that making friends and keeping up with friends is like one of the positive experiences. Meeting the professors that, you know, really are helping shape who I want to be, what I want to do, because I went in there literally just with the idea that let's just get a degree and we'll be done with the degree. But they sat me down and were like, no, you can do more than what you think you can. And so they helped me kind of shape, I guess, me who I am now. And I think a lot of other experiences is definitely just the college life. If you know, you know. We don't have to say too much. And that's my positive.
And then on to bars.
Okay, so I'd say the most challenging thing for me, time management. If you know me, you know I procrastinate a lot. Hindi ako lungil, but I know that that's an area I have to work on. I'm aware. But it could be anything from like akto barapa, smak me mora class, or like have an assignment due at 11:59, yak submit ng namo 1 a.m. Or even something as major as like submitting applications late or missing a deadline. So I will tell this story because to learn from me so that you don't do the same mistake. So I actually didn't get PNSB last fall because I missed the deadline. Like that was on me. Like I just did not keep up with my deadlines or anything. So that was really hard, I'd say, but it was definitely something I learned from. And then even like dimlak nga student housing, this was all happening the same semester, like last fall semester. And balancing that all on top of schoolwork, assignments that you're trying to get in, and then of course your life outside the classroom, like making sure you're keeping up with family and friends or being active in your community. So I noticed how much time management is really important in every aspect of your life. And if you don't know how to manage your time, it'll really affect you. So I'd say time management was the most difficult thing. But the most positive experience, like what Kosoya said, I'd say the people that I got to meet. Like I said at first, I didn't think there were too many people, like other Pacific Islanders that I saw on campus, but when I found that there were student clubs, like shout out to PPA, the Pan-Pacific Association, the dance group that we started, Ali Belao, Micronesian Connections Association, Feolofanio Samoa, and the Tonga Club. And I name all of them because it's so important to recognize the work that they're doing, because it's really us students on our own getting together and doing stuff, because we all you know, like feeling like home or like a sense of community, and also meeting, like getting to know your professors, because they can really vouch for you when you need it, and yeah, just all the wonderful people. Right. Yeah, they really help the experience. Yeah.
Okay, so Elang, you mentioned missing PNSB deadline last year, and so I hope you make it this time around.
Yes, we learned from last year.
Yes, July 31st, the deadline. But other than PNSB, do you guys get other like scholarship awards? Source of funding for you, if there are any.
Yeah, sure. Rayu Ochi, ang kotalbato kay Kagidal scholarships, and they offer there through the Endowment Foundation, UOG Endowment Foundation. But one of the ones that I was able to get was the TRIO Supplemental Grant Aid. I highly encourage people, if you do have a TRIO school, and please go join, because they don't just help financially, they help with your homework. If you need appliances, that sounds like you know, calculators and stuff, laptops, they do provide those things. And they also provide counseling for your educational plan, and they also helped me with mine when I had first started, so that really helped me like push my, you know, direction where I wanted to go. Other than that, I really just I think I tried my best to find a lot of internships. Luckily, there were internships at the time because just like bars, didn't get PNSB for one sem, guys. It happens. Please look at your emails. But I hadn't gotten mine a few semesters ago, and it was honestly one of the most challenging things ever because it's you learning how to be financially stable on your own. My talaga, like she would help me, but I tend to just like I'd want to do it on my own. Di nga ako figure this out because sakpok pare ako nga school hindi nga ako I'm gonna be a grown up paying adult bills, so I gotta find my way to pay for my own stuff. And this is not to say not to accept help. This is just more of an encouragement that like when you come up with another bump in the road, you can get through it. You just have to kind of put in the extra work too. And I feel like that's what makes the accomplishment or the end very, very rewarding, is because you can say like, oh yeah, I did, I got out of that. I, did a lot of this on my own. Sorry guys. But yeah, thanks to the internships and the supplemental grant aids that they provide, I was able to kind of support myself. And my mom also helped me every now and then whenever I was like, okay, fine, I'll accept your help, but I'll pay it back. So I keep telling her. Yeah.
How about you, Bars? Any other type of scholarship funding?
Yes. So I'm a recipient of the APIA Morgan Stanley Scholarship, which is to help Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander students pursuing their higher education. So please, not close application, but you can apply for next school year when it opens. And I also got an internship last summer with the UH Manoa's Indo-Pacific Affairs internship. Mrano ngilek ne orior lobangela or Lobantrirar Pacific Islands Development Program to support the Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture. So it was a great opportunity, and I also got a stipend out of that. And I also I had 2 part-time jobs, one as a student interchanger with the Outreach College and another one with Tides, the office that I talked about earlier. So I had to find, since missed deadlines and stuff, but you have to find other sources of income. But yeah.
How do you find out about these opportunities?
I heard about APIA from one of my coworkers, and also one of the Palan students, Shuri Chibana.
Okay.
She was also a recipient, so she told us about it. And then I feel like every university or college, they have so many opportunities for scholarships or even internships. So just keeping up with your school.
Okay. Okay, so looking to the future, what's your immediate plan after college?
So, take the bachelor's. I want to get my master's, but I do want to take a year to get experience, especially in the field of minor anthropology. Guam has a lot of good opportunities to do so, to hone in on the skills that I do have and then help me gain some more. So I am looking at internships there, and Chief Sunny and Director Giblas, they're also very, very helpful in making a smooth transition and more to come into work at the BCHP. So I'm also thinking about working there. Those are my 2 options at the moment. I do know I want to get my master's and my PhD if I can. I know I can, but it's for now, that's the plan that I have set in mind, and I would like to get both of those degrees at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Yeah, guys, go Bows, guys. I think mainly because I do want a sense of Pacifica community, and I feel like that's a perfect place to go. And I feel like their programs and also indigenous philosophy is something that I also want to look into. So I'm looking at both of those degrees at Manoa, and I'm really hoping that all goes well. If once I do get my experience and apply for scholarships, I'm able to get into school there. So that's my current plan.
Full honesty, I'm not too sure what I want to do. Le nga ka top dara December, so ako ra naswadi kira Hawaii mo mereka spring semester. Kora di ngarse lorior mo dalaw there and really think about what I want to do. Cause I'm also considering going to law school. But that's a big commitment. So I'm also thinking of taking at least 1 year off to just take a break from school and see if it's something that I really want to commit to. Yeah.
All right.
Very well said.
Oh.
ang kadukura maaraw labong ortel interview. So maybe sabil ko ra share advice del more tira kay del ora ngalkel belan dir kangar belalom da sa motto del ma school. Maybe you can share some advice that will help them.
Ooh, my mind kind of went blank. I think I gave this last year. It's okay not to know which direction you're going. I think college and life in general takes a lot of trial and error, a lot of bumps in the road, a lot of challenges, but many more rewards. So I think taking it day by day, finding your interest. You don't have to know what major you want to be, what school you want to go to. You can definitely start with what interests you, what are your hobbies that you probably could apply to this, work that you could possibly do. What are your skill sets that you could probably apply if you had chosen a path of work? Which one would you go to? So I think starting there and just understanding yourself first before knowing what you want next is an important step, because I think that's what I took, and it took me a minute to really decide, like, okay, this is what I want to do, this is the major I want to be in. And sometimes plans change and that's okay. I think also balance yourself. It's easy to get burnt out in college. It's easy to get off track. It's easy to start bad habits like skip school classes. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So I think learn how to balance yourself. It takes a lot of discipline. If it makes you feel any better, it took me 2 years out of my 4-year college life to finally get some, discipline in me and just try my best to stay on track and stay on schedule, commit to the things that I had, said I was going to do. And it really pays off because not only you gain experience, you'll also gain respect from other people, and they are willing to work with you more when you do so, and they appreciate and acknowledge those kind of efforts when you do. And so, like I said, those kind of things, they don't go unseen, even though they feel small. Just today, I think it's nice to share that I originally wasn't able to go to work this morning, but I kept communicating like, I'm gonna go to the hospital. I'm gonna go and get my checkup. After that, I was like, I have a whole day. I'm gonna go, I emailed them and I'm like, I'm going to go to work if that's okay. I'm just going to work on stuff and then head to the talk show and then head back. And, those kind of things, they kind of appreciate, like the little things, communicating and learning how to be transparent. Those things they appreciate and they acknowledge. And, I got the email back from Chief Sunny and I was like about to cry because my day was kind of rough. But it's things like those that kind of make you feel like you're doing the right thing and you're going in the right path. So I think those are some of the things I would advise the young people on. And also, just because I work here, I think it's appropriate for me to say that I really, really encourage Githan to continue to invest ourselves, put our time into our shurang. I know it's, I think there's a lot of negative connotations here and there with how shurang can be, and I'm being completely unfiltered, I'm so sorry, but I think learning how to appreciate those kind of the good and bad and learning the balance in between, like is why we should continue to preserve our culture. Nga kadira ko masubal mga traductor belaw. So if you feel like, you know, you not speaking good Palan and you get discouraged, you don't know how to speak it, nga kadira ko masub, we can learn together, guys. So that's just something I wanted to throw out there. And yeah, I really just wish everybody the best in their upcoming college, or if you've finished college, I really wish you the best in whatever endeavors you choose to pursue after that.
So my advice would really just be believe in yourself and know that you can do it. I always say that I'm my biggest hater and my biggest supporter. I'll always be my harshest critic on my bad days, but I know that I'm the only one that can pick me up after, and if I don't got me, then nobody else got me. So just believe in yourself. So believe in you and know when to push yourself to test your limits, but also when to take a step back and show yourself grace. And like what he said earlier, yes, so please, if you're interested in going into education or anything in that field, please do consider it and know that you have, whatever field you choose to go into, know that you have a lot of support from the people around you. Yeah.
Thank you both for the great advice. Lang last, I'll give you guys the opportunity to recognize any person, anyone that has helped you throughout your educational journey.
Be multiple. I'm gonna do persons. Mommy, I'm on the radio. Hey. But Clara seguro out. She is no right. Let's go. Like, she is my number one supporter. She's always pushing me to be the best that I can be. And she's always giving me advice, realistic advice, very blunt, and that's kind of what I need. And then on the days where I need, like, you know, some calm, tender, you know, words, she's there for me. Chief Sunny, Yurmang, and Director Giblas, love you guys. Thank you for all that you do and for continue to push me to be a better worker, a better student, a better young Indigenous woman. I think working with you guys gives me a lot of pride to be Palauan, and so not just Palauan, I'm also a scholar. So I really appreciate all the advice that you guys have given me. And all my friends, guys, you guys are the best. So yeah, that's who I want to shout out to. And PNSB Sulang. Taklo till me sa deadline, promise.
Ako, tiakti mrenga sule la rupa ka Dios, glory to God, and ngiyaw ula. Klisi ela badenge kama rungu kama the swag that gives me the strength to do everything I'm doing now, and every day that I wake up. Glory to God. Of course, because they're the reason I'm here today. If it wasn't for them, I would not be here. And my grandma, sorry, I forgot. And then all my aunties, uncles, and cousins, I've really been feeling so much love being here back home, because it's been like couple years since I've been here, so it's just really nice being around all that love and support. So I hope they know it really encourages me. Rokul Senseranga from past, present, and my future. Specifically the Center for Pacific Island Studies and my kumu in the English department, Manoa, because they've really seen me struggle, but they continue to push me and remind me that I can reach my goals. The Pacifica community, Ramanoa, and the Palauan community also on Oahu, because they really make, like, we have a home away from home. Last but not least, tikmutial tea le orenga sulirar adra PNSB ma MOE for the wonderful opportunity to come back home and work here, and for the opportunity to learn from you guys. So, kumkumal masal.
Komaral masulang al terung tial interview mlagiral for atal ding na for ada nagirin may for interns na nagirin may, but unfortunately guk mlay nga asangir tigal other two matamal masal tira kang mal gilngel may o sa madal guk share gal guk information al gira la internship per tier. Aso ko mga nga ako rakarmi will gira la tagi del program tal pala fellowship award. Komediam ka dong office. Igidal din wal lulukor nga marilang 4883608 or sa email nga PNSB internship at gmail or sa igidal email ramrilang at scholarship680 at gmail. And tel talk show tiang first for this summer. Ilaligan maral days and klurug magidira ka talk show same time throughout this whole week 2 p.m. klurug and Thursday, Friday. Alang Tuesday, right? Yeah. So yes, we'll be having talk shows throughout this week 2 p.m. So please tune in tomorrow for a new group of interns. Marin takal sa malora di.
Oo, yakmal din mo tal mo omaklat. I guess I'm not sure if I'm coming tomorrow. Hindi yakmal din mo tal mo maklat kasali selirla na rekit at July 31st. Tigal soril apla scholarship atang kisa la ka maminori. Hal ko nakarang sa limul soril apply ako mal di orar till May. Di ka mo sa luwasi tial location ng office rekit. Ang arat school na PHS se direct kalmot tara village malskum kom rami ray kel temela kloko le please mo tangal mo ngil tirkal okya kareki thang di mal talmera office rekir kom mal di masulang mal di mlay kay have a nice day di kalmot tirkel mal for area.
Okay, menilang kam ko ay sa kumangrang ra PHS.
PHS sa Palaw High School.
Okay. O ko kadik mo PHS ka mamahal udalang digi mo la PHS
for 80 kom dingil we malmla linga lak. Di mo lang sulang spy.
Hal maralang ka ndiak di mo almle gitim la stop. Aro ko niya.
Ko la offer at talsikang.
Oo, maklukugan sa elmo offer talsikang madringil. Sumukadir ka to ka ko ra ngil aisel mo aisen sa edal mo.
Thank you.
Okay, madam malungili tasil sa sige daw labang alila Tokshor gidra PNSP Palaw National Scholarship Board at yang almutul mo rin ilakluko ko silong irul bleyong ala. Atang emri lang tiang ni ang irul bleyong ang edel bleyong ala. Oo, hindi wasel ala Captain Wilson ng ani ang irum ang edim ang ewal mo. Okay, wam sulang makluguk.